Cooney boy. That mold will eat stitches. So like if you have a tent, you put it up and it wasn't totally dry, and you don't use it again for 6 months, and you get it out, you know, that stuff starts, it seems like it starts eating on the stitches and the seam seal. And eventually it'll ruin your tent. Admittedly, I haven't always done that. You know, I learned my lesson, let it dry out good. I try to pack it up ready to go. Heard something out on the road. Huh. That's funny. In the forest, there's always noises, you know, that just happen. That big buck last night was pretty funny because he was out there in the woods. He was right back here. And I mean, for about an hour, he would walk around a little bit. He'd make that noise like that. Sometimes they'll. That's when they're really getting mad. But that was cool. Besides that, it was a quiet night. And it wasn't windy or anything, so I would have heard stuff walking around or whatever. No, it was quiet. Tonight, it'll even be more so as far as animals because everything's wet. So when the leaves are wet and everything, an animal can walk through the woods a lot quieter, just like a human. But if you step on a dead twig, snap. That's how you always know. If you hear something snap in the woods, if you're camping, it's because something stepped on it. Nothing just snaps because it wants to. Ooh, there's a big old nest up there. Nice. Might be my friend the owl. I didn't even hear my friend the owl last night. That was weird. But hey, speaking of something snapping in the woods, I got a little mini story for you. I know my loyal subscribers right now are probably going, "Oh, Mr. Lawrence, not the sound story again," because I've told it about 3 or 4 times in my video. But if it's the first time that you see my channel, you might think it's pretty interesting. It's on a movie. I can't remember what the movie is. After you hear the story, you might even know the movie. But one guy was asking another guy, they were talking about security and how to stay safe, like in the city, how to stay safe in the woods. He said, "What's your best tip for the city?" And he goes, "In the city," he said, "there's always a reflection. Reflection in a window, reflection in a car going by. There's always a reflection somewhere that if you pay attention, you can see it." The city a lot of times is full of noises. So beep, beep, people talking, all that. But it's the reflection that you pay attention to. Like every time you walk up to a glass door, convenience store, whatever, you walk up, right when you hit the glass, you should be looking at the reflection behind you. Looking to see if anybody's following right behind you or anybody's following you. Or just make identification and see what happens once you get in there. In the woods, you always have a sound. Because reflection, not many things except for water, I guess, or ice, reflects what's behind you. But you have sound. And you learn certain sounds are not normal for being out in the woods. Here's a for instance for you. Now this was camping, right? But this doesn't totally speak of being in the woods all by yourself. But one of the first nights I brought the Selvin camping. And about an hour after it got dark and I went to sleep, all of a sudden I heard a noise in the Selvin. The Selvin made a noise. And almost instantly I thought, you know, that Selvin ain't sitting out here making noises just for the heck of it. Something made that noise. Something's in there. Sure enough, a raccoon had got in there. But what's weird is, then the guy asking the question said, what about the desert? And the old boy that seemed to know all about these things kind of looked down, looked him in the eye, and he said, you don't want to be in the desert. Sounds creepy. Now, I've even got a story to back that up. Me and my son and my youngest daughter went on the Buffalo River, camped out for 2 or 3 nights out on the river, did the last 27 miles, and we camped on a sandbar. Like it must have been a big stream coming into the river, like the long sandbar, and we camped on it. It was a perfect spot. Tomorrow, Joey the werewolf will take us upstream.
She's gone.
There you go. Oh no! She's sideways!
Pretty much like, oh Lord, help me please.
Ollie, watch out now. He'll reach out there and bite you. That ain't no friendly turtle.
I think he's
Look at this. Briley, your first trout. Talking about possibly tornadoes.
Potential hail in the future in the north.
Oh yeah, I killed so many garlic. 30, 40 probably.
Carrying the turtle. Peace! Next morning I get up, unzip the tent, come out. Instantly in the sand all around it was centipede, like centipede tracks. But we're not talking about a centipede as big as your finger. These centipede tracks, like from one end to the other, were probably like that. And I mean, it was like all around that area right there. I never heard it. I think that's what he means about the sand. Everything would pretty well be quiet, and there's no reflection. I thought, well, okay, I'm going to walk down the shoreline a little bit. The water's crystal clear, very cold, crystal clear. I had Chaco sandals on and shorts. So I started walking around the water, like where the sand bank came in. There were plants growing on there. Maybe plants that were like 3 feet tall or something, kind of wiry green plants. Not real thick, but right along there. And so the sand went down and I'm walking, I'd say probably 2 feet out from the shoreline. I'm walking around, I'm looking around, all of a sudden, I'm guessing 20 feet in front of me. The largest cottonmouth I'd ever seen in my life, which it must have been sitting right on the bank and I didn't see it, came off the shore into the water and then just shot off in about a 45-degree angle away from me. Fast. Oh man, this thing was fat at the very end. Small little tail, that arrowhead-like head on him. And I think what was so shocking is not only to see an animal like that out there, if he would have been pissed and came at me, oh, he would have had me. There was nothing I could do. I mean, I could have thrown a couple kicks at him or something. If that boy would have got a hold of me, he would have bit me good. I don't know what they do. I don't know if they bite you once, and if you fall down, they bite you again, or if they just one time and they take off. I don't know. Well, the storm is intensifying. This is some tough filming. Fish in the boat. Holy cow, is he heavy. Nice fish. Hello, buddy. Look at that fish. Wow. Enough the storytelling tonight. Hey, I appreciate you coming on the trip. It was a good trip. Got my motors ran, got my gas ran down, did some fishing at Patoka Lake. That was the major goals. Got skunked at Patoka Lake, but still, Patoka Lake is so giant. And I can tell you this about Patoka Lake, that I was running my Humminbird. It's an old Humminbird 508i. Because Patoka Lake's a dangerous lake. If you don't know what you're doing, you'll crash your boat at Patoka Lake. And I'm running it, and I saw pockets of fish from the bottom to the top, and I'm talking about probably 20 feet of water. I mean, where it went across the screen, it was solid. 25 yards, maybe 50 yards, I don't know. Now, there's other sections of Patoka Lake. I drove around for a while, and I didn't see anything hit the radar. Nothing. Just like or muddy bottom and nothing out there. And then today, I didn't expect today. Today is like a bonus feature. I like weird weather. I don't like 95 degrees and no breeze and just, I don't know, I don't like that kind of stuff. No, I like storms. Even like if I go down, to the Gulf of Mexico. When I'm there, sunny's okay, fine. I'll sit in the chair, fine. Sit on the balcony, fine. When the 2 or 3 days of storms come up, I get more excited about that. Because I like the waves, the clouds, and everything like that. Sometimes I just kind of ramble, right? Well, it's just me and the birds, and the raccoons, and the possums, and the skunks, and Big Daddy Buck back there, whatever he's doing. Oh yeah, don't forget about the owls, coyotes, bobcats, snakes, spiders. We're all just kind of hanging out tonight. All right, well, you can see it's getting dark. So without further ado, unless something happens tonight, I will see you in the morning. I'll sign on. We'll get everything cleaned up, break down the gazelle, all packed up, head on back to the cabin. Thank you for coming by, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Well, the horizon's looking a little bit lighter. What horizon I can see. But man, it is coming down like crazy here. Woo! Safe to say it's rainy, a little bit of wind out there, but the Selvin doesn't care. I don't care. So we're gonna get out there and see if we can't hunt us some bass today.